What's going on, guys? It's your boy Parag. New video, day 16 has been something light for me. Alright guys, you already know the deal. Let's run it through. Today was arm day. You know what I'm saying? Little, you know what I'm hold up. If you don't want to skip to the workout, go ahead right over here. The reading section is like 95% of this video, so there's that. But if y'all wanna, like, you know what I'm saying, like put me like in the back of your screen, just, or like you're driving or some shit and you can just hear me talk, go ahead. Anyways, breakfast, change it up. Boom. Okay, so you already know we had creatine, the usual 1 scoop. Oatmeal. All right, I went in the laundry room and I opened a cupboard. There was a non-open jar of peanut butter. Instantly just took that. Instantly just took that shit. Anyways, we're making oatmeal, right? 2 scoops of oatmeal, blah, blah, blah. Some milk, 1 scoop of protein powder, you know, something light. No chia seeds, 1 scoop of peanut butter, moderate peanut butter. Some almonds, some nuts. But then I change it up by putting in some coffee. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, guys. So how it goes is that I wake up, I work out, eat breakfast, go on a walk, come home, shower, recording. And I'm not gonna lie, after I record, I am tired as hell. So I put the coffee in just to amp myself up some more energy. And after this, I'm gonna go stream Prod the Frog, go check that out. But that was today's breakfast, and you know, for the walk or for the 45-minute activity, you know, just going for a walk. I had to stop by Shoppers for a bit because I needed to grab some conditioner and some conditioner and some body wash. Yo, I was looking through. Yo, the brand Dynamite, what gives you? Yo, they be charging $18.99 for shampoo. The fuck. Anyways, let's get on to the reading, shall we? Now, we always know we always start off with a question from the book. Yesterday it was oh my god. Oh. Yesterday was, are you proud of yourself? Why or why not? I'm pretty sure, right? Let me just double check. Yeah. Okay. Question of today. What could you have done better today? Well, to be honest, it is currently only 12 o'clock. So, I mean, I think one thing I could have done better today was, like, during my workout, I took a lot of rest. Like, I took exceedingly more amount of rest, because usually I work out, like I do a set and I rest for like maybe like a minute or two, but I'm reading this like really good manga about a guy becoming a lawyer, and like I'm not gonna lie, maybe I spent a little bit more time reading the manga than focused on my workout. So I could have done better being more locked in, but I'm not gonna lie, that manga was really good. But hey, comment down below whenever you see this video, what could you have done better? All right, on to the reading, guys. 2 more days or 3, this book is done. I'm gonna look online today, do some research, and tomorrow video I will figure out which book I will be finally buying to replace this one after we finish it. I have some books over there, but they're like the same thing, when it's like the same message of like, oh, the power of now, think of the moment, blah blah blah. Which I get it, but man's trying to be. I'm trying to be emotionally intellectual. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so we stopped off at page 110, I believe. I'm per se. Wait, let me see here. Oh, no, I read this part. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about oneness, right? Okay. Sorry, I like swap chairs. This chair is more like upright, so I feel more empowered. Okay. Dogen said, to learn something is to know yourself. To study Buddhism is to study yourself. To learn something is not to acquire something which you did not know before. You know something before you learn it. There is no gap between the I before you know something and the I after you know something. There is no gap between the ignorant and the wise. A foolish person is a wise person is a foolish person. But usually we think he is foolish and I am wise, or I was foolish but now I am wise. How can we be wise if we are foolish? But the understanding transmitted from Buddha to us is that there is no difference whatsoever between the foolish and the wise man. It is so. But if I say this, people may think that I am emphasizing oneness. That is not so. We do not emphasize anything. All we want to do is know things just as they are. If we know things just as they are, there is nothing to point out. There is no way to grasp anything. There is nothing to grasp. We cannot put emphasis on any point. Nevertheless, Dojin said, a flower falls even though we love it, and a weed grows even though we do not love it. Even though it is so, this is our life. And this way of life should be understood. Then there is no problem, because we put emphasis on something particular point. We always have trouble. We should accept things just as they are. This is how we understand everything and how we live in this world. This kind of experience is something beyond our thinking. In the thinking realm, there is a difference between oneness and variety. But in actual experience, variety and unity are in the same, because you create some idea of unity or variety. You are caught by the idea, and you have to continue the endless thinking through actually there is no need to think. Emotionally, we have many problems, but these problems are not actual problems. They are something created. They are problems pointed out by our self-centered ideas or views. Because we point out something, they are problems, but actually it is not possible to point out anything in particular. Happiness is sorrow, sorrow is happiness. There is happiness and difficulty, difficulty and happiness. Even though the ways we feel are different, they are not really different. In essence, they are the same. This is the true understanding from brothers to you. So like that little chapter was just talking about how it's all this. I guess it's like more of like a perspective type of thing, like, because they're saying that these problems are created. Yeah, so they are problems pointed out by your self-centered ideas, because we point out something, they are problems, but actually it's not a problem to point out anything in particular. Okay. Next chapter. Calmness. A Zen poem says, after the wind stops, I see a flower falling. Because of the singing bird, I find the mountain calmness. Before something happens in the realm of calmness, we do not feel the calmness. Only when something happens within it do we find the calmness. There is a Japanese saying, for the moon there is a cloud, for the flower there is the wind. When we see a part of the moon covered by a cloud or tree or a weed, we feel how round the moon is. But when we see the clear moon without anything covering it, we do not feel the roundness the same way we do when we see through something else. When you are doing Zazen, you are within the complete calmness of your mind. You do not feel anything, you just sit. But the calmness of your sitting will encourage you to your everyday life. So actually you will find the value of your Zen in your everyday life, rather than while you sit. But this does not mean you should neglect Zazen. Even though you do not feel anything when you sit, if you do not have this Zazen practice, you cannot find anything. You just find weeds or trees or clouds in your daily life. You do not see the moon. That is why you are always complaining about something. But for Zen students, a weed which for most people is worthless is a treasure. With this attitude, whatever you do, life becomes an art. When you practice Zazen, you should not try to attain anything. You should just sit in the complete calmness of your mind and not rely on anything. Just keep your body straight without leaning over or against something. To keep your body straight means not to rely on anything. In this way, physically and I'll be spitting and shit, sorry. Physically and mentally, you will obtain complete calmness. But to rely on something or to try to do something in Zazen is dualistic and not complete calmness. In our everyday lives, we are usually trying to do something, trying to change something into something else, or trying to attain something. Just this trying is already in itself an expression of true nature. The meaning lies in the effort itself. We should find out the meaning of our effort before we attain something. So Dojin said, we should attain enlightenment before we attain enlightenment. It is not after attaining enlightenment that we find its true meaning. The trying to do something in itself is enlightenment. When we are in difficulty or distress, there we have enlightenment. When we are in defilement, there we should have hold up composure. Usually we find it difficult to live in the bro, what is this word, bro? How do you even say that? What is that? Usually we find it difficult in the even essence. Even essence of our life. But it is only within the even sense of our life that we can find the joy of eternal life. By continuing your practice with this sort of understanding, you can improve yourself. But if you try to attain something with this understanding, you cannot work on it properly. You lose in the struggle for your goal. You achieve nothing. You just continue to suffer in your difficulties. But with the right understanding, you can make some progress. Then whatever you do, even though not perfect, will be based on your innermost nature. And little by little, something will be achieved. Which is more important to attain enlightenment or to attain enlightenment before you attain enlightenment, to make $1 million or to enjoy life in your effort. Little by little, even though it is impossible to make that million, to be successful, or to find meaning in your effort to be successful, if you do not know the answer, you will not be able to even practice Zazen. If you do know, you will have the true treasure of life. That I'm kind of not understanding. Let me see. Let me go back to here. Okay. Next chapter. Experience, not philosophy. Although there are many people in this world, in this country, who are interested in Buddhism, few of them are interested in its pure form. Most of them are interested in studying the teaching or the philosophy of Buddhism, comparing it to other religions. They appreciate how satisfying Buddhism is intellectually, but whether Buddhism is deep or good or perfect is not the point. To keep our practice in its pure form is our purpose. Sometimes I feel there is something blasphemous in the talking about how Buddhism is the perfect as a philosophy or teaching without knowing what it actually is. To practice Zazen with a group is the most important thing for Buddhism and for us, because this practice is the original way of life. Without knowing the origins of things, we cannot appreciate the result of our life's effort. Our effort must have some meaning. To find the meaning of our effort is to find the original source of our effort. We should not be concerned about the result of our effort before we know its origin. If the origin is not clean and pure, our effort will not be pure, and its result will not satisfy us. When we resume our original nature and unnecessarily make our effort from this base, we will appreciate the results of our effort moment after moment, day after day, year after year. This is how we should appreciate our life. Those who are attached only to the result of their effort will not have any chance to appreciate it, because the result will never come. But if moment after moment your effort rises from its pure origin, all you will do will be good, and you will be satisfied with whatever you do. I feel like that right there is like you know what that quote, it's like, the man who loves walking will walk farther than the man who like just wants to walk for it. Anyways, I feel like that right there is a sense of saying, like, if you only care and look forward to your, is that a pimple, bro? It is. Like, if you only look forward to the end result, you'll never reach there. But if you enjoy the process of doing it to get to the result, no matter what happens, you'll be happy because of the progress. And I can low-key relate, because for me, the end goal is to, like, be a full-time content creator, you know what I'm saying, blah blah blah. But if I'm not enjoying the things that I'm doing or / making for you guys, like, is there really a point of, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, just my little insight. Zazen practice is a practice in which we resume our pure way of life, beyond gaining idea and beyond fame and profit. By practice, we just keep our original nature as it is. There is no need to intellectualize about what our pure original nature is, because it is beyond our intellectual understanding, and there is no need to emphasize it, because it is beyond our appreciation. So just to sit without any idea of a gain, and with the purest intention to remain as quiet as our original nature. This is our practice. In the Zendo, there is nothing fancy. We just come and sit. After communicating with each other, we go home and resume our everyday activity as a continuity of our pure practice, enjoying our true way of life. Yet, this is very unusual. Wherever I go, people ask me, what is Buddhism? With their notebooks ready to write down my answer. You can imagine how I feel, but here we just practice Zazen, that is all we do. We are happy in this practice. For us, there is no need to understand what Zen is. We are practicing Zazen. So for us, there is no need to know what Zen is intellectually. This is, I think, very unusual for American society. In America, there are many patterns of life and many religions, so it may seem natural to talk about the differences between the various religions and compare one with the other, but for us, there is no need to compare Buddhism to Christianity. Buddhism is Buddhism, and Buddhism is our practice. We do not even know what we are doing when we just practice with a pure mind. So we cannot compare our way to some other religion. Some people may say that Zen Buddhism is not a religion. Maybe that is so. Or maybe Zen Buddhism is a religion before religion. So it might not be religion in the usual sense, but it is wonderful. And even though we do not understand what it is intellectually, even though we do not have any cathedral, big words, Parag, sorry, have any cathedral or fancy or ornaments, it is possible to appreciate our original nature. This is I think unusual. I think I guess like what they're trying to say there is more like how do I explain it? It's more like practicing Zazen, like you just sit down, you just lock in, you're practicing, you're doing that kind of stuff, and you're not really thinking about anything. You're just being in the moment. But then you have other people that are very curious about the religion and or the culture of it, and they try to like compare it to other blah blah blah. All right, next page. Original Buddhism. Walking, standing, sitting, and lying down are the 4 activities or ways of behavior in Buddhism. Zazen is not one of the 4 ways of behaviors, and according to Dojin Zenzi, the Soto school is not one of the many schools of Buddhism. The Chinese Soto school may be one of the many schools of Buddhism, but according to Daojin, this way was not one of the many schools. If it is so, you may ask why we put emphasis on the sitting posture, or why we put emphasis on having a teacher. The reason is because Zazen is not just one way of the 4 ways of behavior. Zazen is a practice which contains immutable activities. Zazen started even before Buddha and will forever continue. So this sitting posture cannot be compared to the other 4 activities. Usually people put emphasis on some particular position or something particular understanding about Buddhism, and they think this is Buddhism. But we cannot compare our way with the practices people normally understand. Our teaching cannot be compared to the other teachings of Buddhism. This is why we should have a teacher who does not attach to any particular understanding of Buddhism. The original teaching of Buddhism includes all of the various schools. As a Buddhist, our traditional effort should be Buddha's. We should not attach to any particular school or doctrine. But usually if we have no teacher and if we take pride in our understanding, we will lose the original characteristic of Buddha's teaching, which includes all of the various teachings. Ow! Sorry. Because Buddha was the founder of the teaching, people tentatively called this teaching Buddhism. But actually, Buddhism is not some particular way of teaching. Buddhism is just truth, which includes various truths in it. Zazen practice is a practice which includes the various activities of life. So actually, we do not emphasize the sitting posture alone. How to sit is to how to act. We study how to act by sitting, and this is the most basic activity for us. That is why we practice Zazen in this way. Even though we practice Zazen, we should not call ourselves the Zen school. We should just practice Zazen. Taking our example from Buddha, that is why we practice. Buddha taught us how to act through our practice. That is why we sit. Okay. To do something, to live in each moment, means to be temporary activity of Buddha. To sit in this way is to be Buddha himself. To be as the historical Buddha was the same thing applies to everything else. Everything is Buddha activity. So whatever you do, or even if you keep from doing something, Buddha is in the activity. Because people have no understanding of Buddha, they think that they do is the most important thing without knowing what to do is the actual doing it. People think they are doing various things, but actually Buddha is doing everything. Each one of us has his own name, but those names are the many names of one Buddha. Each one of us has many activities, but those activities are all Buddha's activities. Without knowing this, people put emphasis on some activity. When they put emphasis on zazen, it is not true zazen. It looks as if they were sitting in the same way as Buddha, but there is a big difference in the understanding of our practice. If we understand this sitting posture, I don't know why I say posture, is one of the 4 basic postures of man, and they think, I now take this posture. But zazen is all the postures, and each posture is Buddha's posture. This understanding is a true understanding of zazen posture. If you practice in this way, it is Buddhism. This is very, very important. So Dojin did not call himself a Soto teacher or a Soto disciple. He said, other people may call us the Soto school, but there is no reason to call ourselves Soto. You should not even use the name Soto. No school should consider itself a separate school. It should just be one tentative form of Buddha. But as long as the various schools do not accept this kind of understanding, as long as they continue to call themselves their particular names, we must accept the tentative name of Soto. But I want to make this point clear. Actually, we are not the Soto school at all. We are just Buddhist. We are not even Zen Buddhist, we are just Buddhist. If we understand this point, we are truly Buddhist. Buddha's teaching is everywhere. Today, it is raining. This is Buddha's teaching. People think their own way of their own people think their own way of people think their own way or their own religion understanding is Buddha's way without knowing what they are hearing or what they are doing or where they are. Religion is not particularly teaching. Religion is everywhere. We have to understand our teaching in this way. We should forget all about the particular teaching. We should not ask which is good or bad. There should not be any particular teaching. Teaching is in each moment, in every existence. That is true teaching. Alright, we got the... Oh my god, guys, the page is ending. Okay, this is the last page for this video. Beyond consciousness. We should establish our practice where there is no practice for enlightenment. As long as we practice zazen in the area where there is practice and enlightenment, there is no chance to make perfect peace for ourselves. In other words, we must firmly believe in our true nature. Our true nature is beyond our conscious experience. It is only in our conscious experience that we find practice and enlightenment, good or bad. And whether or not we have experience or true nature, what exists there beyond I can't even say the word, actually exists. And it is there. We have to establish the foundation of our practice. Even to have a good thing in your mind is not so good. Buddha sometimes said, you should be like this. You ought not to be like that. But to have what he says in your mind is not so good. It is a kind of burden to you, and you may not actually feel so good. In fact, to harbor some ill will may even be better than to have some idea in your mind of what is good or what you ought to do. To have some mischievous idea in your mind is sometimes very agreeable. This is true. Actually, good and bad is not the point. Whether or not you make yourself peaceful is the point, and whether or not you stick to it. When you have something in your consciousness, you do not have perfect composure. The best way towards perfect composure is to forget everything. Then your mind is calm. and it is wide and clear to see and feels as they are without effort. So that was the last page, but I just want to read this little quote here in this book. To realize pure mind in your delusion is practice. If you try to expel the delusion, it will only persist more. Just say, oh, this is just a delusion, and do not be bothered by it. Okay, that's the last page of today, but I think that quote kind of sits in the mind of like, they're saying like, you know, guys, I'm actually thinking of getting a haircut soon. Like, I think I'm getting like a mullet, maybe? Thoughts? Anyways, when you're meditating or you're practicing zazen, or just in general, when a thought comes in your head, it's just a thought. It's a delusion. And I want to relate to a quote I saw where I saw it somewhere on TikTok. It's either a guy or girl, I don't know who said it. But I remember that they said that, like, you are not your thoughts. And, like, your thoughts are not always real, right? So, anyways, that was a reading for today. Getting a little more insight here and there. Let's go on to the arm workout for today. See you guys tomorrow. Or see you guys... Yeah, see you guys tomorrow. It's time to do arms, and I'm going to do a picture of myself looking all kind of dazed. And then, we're going to be going over the eats. And guys, 30 more bomba clot days left until I go to Japan, guys. That means right now it's episode 16. The last episode will be episode 46, because 30 plus 16 is, yeah, episode 46. That'll be the last episode. And I'm thinking I might do that episode with my friend. Maybe. We'll think about it. But anyway, guys, let's go on to the arm workout for today. Okay, and starting out the workout, we're doing incline skull crushers. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, this workout, I like it a lot, bro. Like, these days, bro, my left arm is so much smaller than my right. I'm focusing more on my left side, but I still need to put in more work. But overall, not too bad. Definitely need to, I don't know. I feel like I gotta be more, I don't know. Anyways, doing some bicep curls, not too shabby. This was 30 pounds. I'm not, see, the thing is, I wasn't laid back on the seat. My next set, well, not this, my next set, I was laying on the seat. I can only do like 25. So, gonna start doing that more. But yeah, anyways. Tricep overheads, not too shabby. I might start doing another exercise for triceps. I do have another exercise in my house that I will try next episode, or my next arm day. We'll figure that out when it gets there. And then the next workout, you know, we have the, what do you call it, incline hammer curls. Like, this part right here, like, I actually felt that shit. Like, it actually like burned. But yeah, I'm feeling good. The body is looking kind of right. I need to work more on my chest. Good thing tomorrow is chest day. But yeah, I still feel, yeah, like the flab is still there, so it's not the greatest. Anyways, ending it off with reverse curls on my left arm because my left forearm is significantly smaller and weaker than my right. So just finishing off there. But yeah, that's the workout for today. Boom! Your boy's looking a little clean today. Looking like a model. No, but hey, that's the picture for today. Let's get on to the lunch. Hey. Okay, and for lunch, we literally have no carbs. We just got leftover beef chili, one drumstick, and then some greens. I ain't gonna lie, it was pretty good, but the greens are kind of like moist and there's a lot of liquid in it. So it was very watery, but it was good though. It was good. And for dinner, boom, we got 4 eggs. We got same greens, one drumstick, but I took off the bone. And then we have our last carb, because usually my carb is oatmeal, but I skipped the carb for dinner. I mean for lunch, and for carb I just had like this kind of like protein bread, so it's not too bad. You know, I got sprinkled in some onions, so overall not too bad. I do feel kind of full. I feel like my main problem right now is that I think I'm putting too much portions. I gotta lower the portions because I'm trying to lose the fat, not gain the fat. Which, you know what I'm saying. Anyways. That's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching the video. It's been your boy, Prod the Frog. Hey, I've been posting not only on this channel, but on the other channel as well. So go over there as well. Hey, the boy is keeping grinding. I'm going to be looking for another book to read. And I'm going to be investing, aka buying like more, I need to buy like lighting and like a better camera for my streams.
Thank you guys for watching the video. Peace. I love you.